And so to me, when I look at how we feed people at the Oaks and what our plan is, I just see that we have like 3 simple tenets: eat well, eat small, eat often. That's the way we feed you here. So it's small amounts of real food frequently throughout the day. And I see it as a triangle. I see that none is better than the other. They all 3 work together and cooperate in a really nice way. And the great thing about that is that it's something that while you're enjoying that here, it's something that you could also enjoy. You can take that philosophically and bring it back home. So it's a great thing, number one, talking about the food. It's good to know what your own food philosophy is. That's something that everybody should know. You should be able to sit back and kind of go, what is my food philosophy? What do I believe healthy eating entails? What does that mean to me? Because sometimes in our lives, in any realm of life, we believe crazy things. And we believe things that aren't even true. So it is a good thing in regard to food, specifically, is to kind of go, is what I believe about healthy eating true? And so how would I define my own food philosophy? And a lot of times, just sometimes it's stepping back and having to define what we actually think or believe about any subject is a clarifying moment, where we can kind of go, actually, when I have to look at that on paper, it's like, maybe not so much. I don't know if that one's going to float, right? So it's a great invitation that I like to make with this, is to ask them to try to clarify for themselves their own food philosophy. So the Oaks food philosophy, within the 3 things, those 3 tenets of eat well, eat small, and eat often, how we try to break that down here, the eat well part is huge. It's just reconnect with the value of eating real food. One of the litmus tests that I like to run things through when I'm thinking about whether or not I want to put this in my mouth or not is, what is this? Can I identify what is in front of me? Is this something that I know what it is? Do I know what this was in its original form? So I like to think of food in original form terms. It's like, what did this used to be when it was a baby? Not necessarily baby food, but what was this originally? And is what I'm consuming now anything to do with its original form? Or has it been so mauled and mutated and reformed and repackaged and processed and refined that it's, why not just eat the real thing, right? And so that's a great thing. So when you're thinking about eating well, boil that down to just eating real food, fresh food. Trying to get away from processed, packaged, and refined foods, and that's a really great way. So we serve you food that you can recognize here. In general, anything that we put on your plate, you're going to be able to look at that and go, oh, that's spinach. Oh, those are mushrooms. Ah, that's a piece of meat. So it's definable. So you want to be able to recognize your food as food. So that, to me, is how we would define eating well. Eating small here, obviously, we have a calorically controlled environment. And so that's something
scary.
Yeah, and it's for some people, it's actually surprisingly, the first day it's scary when people get here because they're not really sure what spot looks like. For some people, they find that it's more food than they would generally eat. For some people, it's right in line with how they eat, and for some people, it's way less than they would eat. So it's not one size fits all. But the nice thing about our program is that you obviously don't have to eat everything. So if it's too much food, then you eat. Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. Nutrition 101. So we can do it that way. And then secondarily, if it's less food than you were expecting, you can always ask for more. So we're not ever wanting our guests to feel hungry or deprived. So particularly with the protein, we can offer you more protein. At breakfast, you can really supplement your calories for the day with our additional calories. So there's lots of different offerings, ample options in the morning so that you feel like you have enough food for what you want.